Hello, if you are joining on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I'm just way past excited to have you guys join me tonight for what's about to be the kickoff to an amazing brand new series called Q&E with Dr. E. We're going to have questions, but we're also going to have empowerment. One of the things I believe in doing is giving instruction, information, and even impartation. And that means that we have the opportunity to get what we need from people who have it. And a lot of the times we know that sometimes there are these blank spots in our lives. So we all have to tell the truth about it. We know that sometimes there's like, I'm good. I'm operating in the brightness of who I am, but I need to make that shift from bright to brilliant. And so I need to be in conversation and in connection and in contact with people that can help me do just that. And so I'm excited about this Q&E series that we are kicking off tonight. For those of you all that don't know me formally, hello, I am Dr. Elisa. Harney. I am known as the empowerment specialist. I'm here to help you get positioned to prosper in your purpose. I'm passionate about helping today's leaders increase their presence, their platform, their performance, and their profit with sustainable, progressive strategies. And so that's who I am. That is what I'm about. That is what I spend my time doing. That is where I spend my energy. But enough about me, because there's a special surprise tonight. So this series is going to be me bringing up different people that I know and love, who will be sharing with us some insight, some wisdom, some revelation, some instruction, some information that's going to help us in our brand, in our marketing, in our business, in our ministry, and anything that we're doing. You know, who knows what all we'll be dealing with. Relationships. There's no telling what guest I will have. So go ahead and mark your calendars. When you see my flyer, if you're not following me, you should probably do that and turn your notifications on, because you don't want to miss whenever we pop up. But I'll have different guests, show you guys some new faces, give you guys some new people that are going to be bringing some amazing things. But now tonight is just going to be a little bit different. I have someone who I don't just know, but I love as my first guest. But guess what? She flipped it on me. I was bringing her on to interview her. She decided, no, to kick this thing off, I'm going to interview you. I don't know what she's going to ask me. I have no idea. Usually when we're together, you're going to get laughter. You're going to get impartation. You're going to get real talk. You're going to get probably some instruction. Let's just be honest. You don't know what you're going to get. But I want everybody to take a moment, hit the share button, tag somebody, screenshot it and put it in your IG story and say, hey, but jump on. Hey, let me tag somebody, because this is going to be good. Tonight, we're going to be dealing with increasing and building your online presence. And that's something that my guest, who's making me the guest, knows a lot about, and I cannot wait to share her with you. And I'm going to be just as surprised as you guys with what in the world she's asking me. But I'm going to bring her up. I'm going to let her introduce herself. This is Kiara J Mason, and so let's get her up here because I can't wait for you guys to see her and fall in love with her like I already do. I'm going to bring her up on both screens because, let's see, there she is. Let me bring her up here as well. Hey, Kiara.
Hello. Nice to see you.
Listen, I'm so excited about this series. I'm excited about what we're going to be dealing with. I'm going to be, I just think it's going to be off the chain. Listen, I'm just excited. Introduce yourself before we get into it, because, you know, I believe when we get in it, it's going to be like a train. It's going to be off the chain. So introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are.
Hey everyone, my name is Kiara J Mason. I am the co-owner of MTM Creative Imaging & Co. I own a social media marketing agency with my husband, Jared Mason, and he's a sales coach. I am the content marketing strategist. We love what we do, and we happen to be on Dr. E's marketing team. So we absolutely love working with her. Honestly, day one, we told her she was our ideal client. But tonight, y'all, so like she already told y'all, we're flipping the script. I'm interviewing her because, you know, we see Dr. E all the time. She be out here teaching, prophesying, all these things. But y'all don't know that this lady, the fullness of her, she is very multifaceted, hilarious. I feel like the people just need to know more.
Uh-oh.
Mhm.
Uh-oh. So she gonna give y'all all my business. Y'all listen, she gonna okay. Yeah, she's seen me play games, and I'm a sore loser. Petty when we play charades. I just accuse everybody of cheating. So yeah, she wants y'all to get the real tonight as we have this conversation. And I told her, okay, if you're that brave, let's go, let's get it.
About that life. I am about that life. So we're about to kick it off. Okay, guys. So what's going to happen is this is Q&A with Dr. E. So you actually have the opportunity to ask her live questions today. Okay, because you know when she comes in, Facebook, YouTube, she come in like in. And she have her lesson prepared, and you know she in and out. You know what I'm saying? But now we get to stop and say, hold on, wait. I got a question for you. And pause her. So if you already got some questions on the tip of your tongue, go ahead and put in the comment section. We want to see it. We have our team ready to slide them over to us. But we're first going to start with some questions that I have for her that I feel like we all should know. Okay.
Uh-oh. Wait, before you start asking the questions, I need y'all to start sharing this. I'm going live on all of my platforms. So I know I'm in my group, on my personal, on my business page. I'm on YouTube. If you guys know some people that, hey, we get to ask Dr. E some questions, you should tag them or slide this on your page and share it, or get them in because, again, I don't know what y'all want to know. I have no idea what you all want to know from me. And so this is going to be very interesting for me as well. But let's get people in on this amazing conversation because I love answering questions. I just don't trust what in the world might come out of my mouth. But let's go. Make sure you guys are sharing and get ready for this because it's going to be good.
Oh, it's going to be super good. So I hope you guys are ready. So I'm just going to warm us up. We're going to eat into it. Like I said, so the theme today is building your online platforms. And as you guys have seen, Dr. E, she has done this for the last year or so. You just celebrated your year in business, although you've been an entrepreneur for a while.
Yes.
But how long has it been?
The business itself celebrated 1 year in April. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 11 years.
Wow. So what made you start the business, the enterprise?
I started the business as a response to people. The people were coming to me with questions, they were just saying, you talked about something that was amazing, but I need a little bit more. And how do I get more of this? Or you hit something and I think we can take this deeper. And I was like, they're not going to be able to get all of this with me just going live. They need something else. What if I start teaching? I love teaching. I love making PowerPoints for my webinars. So I started, doing, and people were responding. And I was like, wait, they're going to need more. So certain people were saying, but I need to get clarity. Let's do clarity sessions. But now I need a strategy. Okay, you know what? Let's turn this thing into an exclusive coaching program. Let's get some VIP. Let's just make it a business. And it's funny. I always say to people, stop creating businesses and products and programs and services out of personal preference because you just want it. Because if the people don't want it, they're not going to respond to it. But I'm grateful that I went in the direction of what was required or what was requested, and the people responded because I was giving them what they were asking for. But I did it in a platform that was comfortable for me.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love that you did that. And so this is a big thing that people have an issue with that you've cultivated over this year. So it's consistency. You consistently showed up on YouTube, Facebook, and built your platform, which is crazy. Now, prior to me starting this social media marketing agency, I was a YouTuber myself, but we did family vlogging. We documented our pregnancy journey and all of that. And it was kind of like a hobby. It was fun for us. And we were pretty consistent with it, but you chose to be consistent like this on your platform. What fuels your consistency?
It's funny. From 2017 up until the beginning of 2021, I was live on Facebook, on YouTube every single Monday. I'm talking about every single Monday for 2017, 18, 19, and 20. 4 years every Monday. I realized something, that I put effort into whatever I wanted to do. And what happens a lot of times, I think we don't treat our intentionality or our intentions like we do our other responsibilities. We don't understand that we are responsible for showing up. When I put a flyer out and tell people I'm going to be live or I'm going to talk about something, there's a responsibility of accountability connected to that. And so when I started showing up and people started giving their expectation, and let me just tell the truth. At the beginning, y'all, I was back and forth. I didn't want to commit to a day and a time. I remember I struggled with calling it initially Mic Drop Monday, because I thought, but if I say it's Mic Drop Monday, I actually got to show up on Monday, and I didn't want to say a time, so I was like, just keep your notifications on. I'll pop up whenever. And somebody said to me, do you know why TV shows get great reviews? Do you know why people fell in love with the Cosby Show? It's because they fell in love with the Cosbys. Do you know why we love The Different World? I'm showing the era I grew up in. Do you know why we love The Different World? Because they showed up consistently. They gave us, we knew what time they were coming. We could move our schedules around and make sure we saw them, and they were consistent, and we learned about them, and we were invested in them. And I said, oh gosh, this is an investment. And so because I was going to be talking to people about showing up in the totality of who you are, I always say, I can't teach what I can't reach. And so I knew that I needed to exercise a certain level of discipline in order to execute at that level. Because whatever I do, I like to do it in excellence. And so I began to say, if I'm going to do it, I'm not going to have to do it. So let's build a consistency and let me show up for the people. And I realized something amazing. When I showed up for them, they showed up for me.
That's a whole word. And that's what I teach people all the time. You have to show up. And it's really just building an expectation, because we're creatures of habit. You made a post recently about that. We are creatures of habit. So we like to know when we can expect certain things. And when that person, like, we feel like there's a trust and a relationship there when you're showing up for us, even though it's online. But I think people just fail to realize that you really can build a community online, and
Yes,
you can really build a real connection with people online. So when you're inconsistent, that means, man, I can't trust you in this relationship.
I can't trust you. You know, it's funny. I was looking at some of the comments, and even the other night when I was live, and people often say to me, "You're my online coach. You're my online bestie." In my head, you know, and to me, it says, because I find value in your level of consistency and excellence and showing up, you know, and addressing what I have a need for, and that blesses my life so much to hear that. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. And thank you guys for putting in your comments. We do see your questions. I know someone asked, how long have you been on social media? So we answered that. Hi, everyone. Hi, Di. Hi, Alicia. Somebody said, Dr. E is my mentor and Facebook friend. I hope to meet you in person someday. Well, you have plenty of opportunities. We got one coming up.
We do.
We do in July. So we have the boardroom conference, but we'll talk about that later. I like what Deidre Robinson said. She said, what has been one of the biggest mindset victories that you have gotten so far?
Here we go. This is just going to be the truth. The biggest mindset victory has been being delivered from people. Now, it's funny because I got into business for the people, but I still had to be delivered from the people. And let me explain why that is so relevant and so important. I saw a need that people were positioning in front of me, and I wanted to fulfill a need. But I realized very early on that if I came to fulfill a need that the people needed from me, but I was trying to be what they wanted me to be, somebody was going to lose their self, and that somebody was going to be me. And so the biggest mindset hurdle was allowing myself to be freed from people. I think a lot of the times when we go, especially social media, because it's upfront, we get caught up in what will people say and how will they judge us, and why would she do that? And this is my idea of what she should be dressing like and where she should be. She shouldn't do that. And if I didn't get delivered from the mindset of people pleasing, I call it people pleasing paralysis. And so being delivered from people pleasing paralysis changed my life. Every time I was ready to shift into a new era. Every time I was ready to do something that I wanted to do. I think one of the things that we do is we think we should make decisions based on what other people can conceptualize or understand. My decisions about me don't have to make sense to you. And see, that was something that I got to explain this to the people. I got to tell them why I couldn't do this, or I got to explain. No, I think when I began to be delivered, I saw the paralysis of people pleasing stop me. Now, don't get me wrong. I have to take full ownership and accountability for who I am and what I position myself to be, because I set an expectation. But one of the things all y'all know about me is that I'm very transparent. I don't try to fit into a box, a very neat box, because I know that I have to be able to vacillate sometimes in ministry, sometimes in the marketplace. And so I don't allow people to define me because of their preconceived notions of about what I should look like or what I should say or how I should do it. That's not their job to do. That's my job to do. And so I think, being delivered from that mindset allowed me to stop being paralyzed by people, because what will happen is you will begin, instead of producing, you'll begin performing. And so as long as I was trying to please people, well, one person said they didn't like what I had on, so you don't need to wear that. My whole wardrobe changed. And why would you do your hair like that? You need to do it like this. The whole everything. Like, oh my goodness. How about I give the people what they can appreciate, which is me and my totality, me and my love. Look, I love Jesus and Tupac, me and who I am. You're not always going to see me. Yes, I put on a dress and I had on my all white, looked like I was communion ready. But at the same time, I had on some shorts and a tank top because I was somewhere else, at the same time, because that's the totality of who I am. And I think when I began to give you the authenticity, then it's harder for people to judge you for who you're pretending to be or not. And so at the end of the day, you can't fake fruit. And so I've been saying that forever. And I think at the end of the day, what's more important to me was not the people's perception about me, but to produce, and could they see the fruit, the evidence of what I was working so hard for. So I hope that answered that question.
That answered it, and about half my questions I already had written down.
I told you to come prepared.
But I love that you said that, because I feel like people need to prepare themselves before they just go and launch these online platforms, because what I found out even in my own was that once I started getting those comments about my marriage and who they thought my husband was, and I'm like, you don't even know him. Now, first, I think my pastor said this. He was like, you made it when people talk about you as if you're not there, like you're not a real person. I'm like, but I really am. And that really did hurt my feelings, low key. But at the same time, I had to develop a thick skin having an online platform, because you have to realize that everybody has an opinion, and now you're being exposed to it in such a great manner. So it was crazy.
Oh, that was so good. I wanted to say something about that, because I think it's so important. I was just sharing this earlier today in a session I was having. Somebody was asking me, Dr. E, how do you deal with what people be saying about you on social media? And I said, what do they be saying? I don't know. First of all, I have a marketing team that runs social media. Secondly, I'm too busy producing to care about what people are posting. And so for me, unless it is something that is valid and I didn't understand something, could you give more clarity about this? Or the petty stuff, what? And so when I genuinely looked at them with a confused face, I said, I have no idea what people are saying, because my ear is not attuned to that. I think sometimes we cultivate the character or the environment of criticism, and I think we have to be very careful that we don't begin to create an environment for that. We're cultivating this. We're setting ourselves up to just receive negativity. And I remember being in that era where I was so in tune to somebody saying something bad that I would flip through. Literally, this is me telling the truth now. I would flip through the good comments just so I could get to the one person with a fake Facebook page, right. The one person with a spam Instagram page, the one person hiding and being a coward about, showing up. That's the person that I chose to say, oh God, they said, I never forget, I did it. event, and a person, we were doing a 3-day prophetic purge, and it was, when I say very meticulous, we were doing mind, body, and soul, and it was breaking down teachings, and we had all kinds of PowerPoints. We had a consecration that went along with it. We were doing studies. I mean, we had invested, and so there was an investment to be a part of it. And there was a lady that got on my live, and she was like, don't let this woman charge y'all for something. My pastor was doing it at the church. And I said, well, blessings to you and your pastor. Great. And I'm sure that he went through, and I started naming some of the things that we were going to be doing. And she said, oh no, we didn't do. So where's the link to sign up? I could have been thrown off, right? And somebody put my quota. I would say I would clap back, but I'm too busy using my hands to build. I don't have time to clap back. I'm building. And so what I realized was that I could cultivate this arena of criticism. I'll draw it to me if I'm, the old folks used to tell us, if you're looking hard enough, you'll find it. And if I stay looking for criticism, I'm going to always find it. But if I look for support, if I look for instruction, if I look for validation, whatever I'm looking for, I'm going to find it. So I just wanted to, put that out there for the people.
That is so good. I hope you guys are being empowered. I was about to say encouraged, but empowered during this time. I had some people saying that this is so real, out of the box, so good. Thank you. And my personal friends who are here. Thank y'all. Hey, y'all. I appreciate y'all for joining me. And if you have specific questions for Dr. E, I'm not going to be asking her questions all night. So if you guys have questions, please feel free to put them in the comment box. Because we want to keep it rolling. So the next question is, what has been one of the toughest business challenges you had to face?
Oh, wow. That's a really good question. Here it is again. One of the actual toughest and hardest business challenges is sometimes when we cultivate things, we do it out of familiarity and not functionality. We default to things, to people, to protocols, personal protocols. And so we begin trying to cultivate something because it's familiar and not because it's functional. And the biggest business challenge to me was I was trying to create an environment that was comfortable. People that I knew, things that I did easily. And what happens is, or what will end up happening if you do that, when you finally begin to cultivate a different level of execution and expertise and require another level of discipline from yourself first and other people, you're going to miss the mark every time. And you're going to be, I've always said this, and a friend of mine said it, and I've never forgot it. There's never a disappointment without an expectation. And so we expect people to perform at a level that we do when we know their character, or we expect ourselves to produce at a certain level when we know our fallacies, when we know our own nuances. And so one of the things that I now get to teach at conferences, and I'm getting ready to do a 6 or 7 figure strategy conference as a speaker, I'm going to be talking about numbers and nuances. My numbers didn't change until my nature changed. And so when the numbers in my bank account went up, my natural nature had to shift. I had to exercise discipline. My numbers on Instagram or Facebook, or my numbers, my number of connections, my number of wins, my number of clients went up when I started dealing with the natural things. And so sometimes we don't think that affects us in business, but it absolutely does. And so I had to realize and recognize that familiarity can get us flunking. Familiarity can get us failing, but I started really investing into what's functional. If it does not work and it can't be fixed, then it has to be replaced. And so I had to do that with my own character, with my own nature, and then the things, the people, the systems around me as well.
Whew, so much to unpack from there. First, someone said, how did you know it's time to launch a business? So, Brittany, if you get a chance, go ahead and watch the replay, because that was one of the first questions I asked. Like, okay, why did you start the business? I want to stop and say that I get the pleasure of working with Dr. E very closely. And who she is here is who she is behind the scenes. She's a hard worker. She believes in excellence. she's not slipping. So what she says to you guys, she operates in, and she challenges herself to operate in it as well. So I want you to know from someone, she didn't ask me to say this, but I want you guys to know that when she comes on here to pour out, she's giving you the real, and she's operating this, and she's very sensitive to God's voice. And that is one of the things that I absolutely love about her. And I'm so appreciative to see that practice in business. The first time we met, I think I called her my ideal client, because I was like, what do you mean you got all your pictures in one place and all of your, what do you mean? Like, is this real? Is this an angel? Is this happening right now?
You were like, wait. I said, yeah, the content is already in folders by year, and they're already typed. The titles are there. You can go, what? And then I remember you said, so what am I here to do? And I was like, plenty. No, let me tell you. But I love that meeting. Best meeting ever.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. So someone else asked a good question. At what point in your business did you just realize you needed to have a team?
Oh, this is good, because this is going to bring in Kiara and their business as well. So one of the things that we try to do is we try to be one-hit wonders, and then you wonder why you don't have but one hit, right? Listen, y'all knew who y'all sent for. Yeah, you one hit and then wonder, well, what happened? Because you're trying to be a one-hit wonder. And so I was wondering, why I could do this one thing and it was going great. But as soon as another aspect of it came, I was like, you know what? Okay, I can be, professionally ambidextrous. I can balance this on this end and this on the other end. Imagine, if you will, if you've ever seen a juggler, whether it's on TV or at a circus, and then they get fancy and they throw one of the balls, they have the ball, they start adding, somebody throws another one, they got it. Then they use the foot, but then they got to use the other foot. They're going to fall at some point. I realized something, and this is going to be really good for especially those of you guys that have not yet removed the S from your chest, that think you're a Superman and a Superwoman instead of putting it on your back and understand you need support, is that me asking and needing and requesting help did not mean that I'm insufficient. I can do every single thing that the people on my team can do. Maybe not as fluent, maybe not as I don't maybe not have the right stream or the system or the whatever their strategy, but I can do it. It takes nothing away from you to say, I need help. What I recognized was that I was always going to be stuck in what I call a state of inertia, where there's motion, but there's no movement or slow movement. I could get it done. But by the time I'm trying to do the work of 5 people or 10 people, I could let the people do what they were purposed to do and just focus on being who I'm supposed to be. And so when I recognized that people were operating in their own lanes of genius, and that I could benefit in the totality of what they did as well, and that there was an enhancement. And let me say something else. It's not enough to recognize that you need a team. The other part of that is to reconcile the reality of not feeling like there's a competition because somebody else comes in and can do it better, right? I put up a post recently, if it's not broke, make it better. And we think, well, it's not broke, it's working, but is it working in brilliance? Is it working at the right level? That's right, I can do it, but do I need to? Do I need to be doing as much of this all of the time? And so to find people like Kiara who came in, and I told her at the very beginning, I said, oh my goodness, the brilliance, the creativity. I told her that part of my mission with working with her was to stretch her and to challenge her. But she also, though, made it, she asked me in an interview, she said, what was the best part of you hiring us to work with, you? And I said, what? Because I can free my hands. I don't have to look over your shoulder. A lot of the times what we do in the natural and what we do spiritually, it comes over. If you're always saying you giving stuff to God and you taking it back, trying to monitor him, and God, you're doing it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a calendar from when I say, and I'm just going to monitor what you're doing. You're not producing fruit because you're so busy trying to see what he's doing. And I think a lot of the times in business, what happens with us is that we have teams or people that can support us, but they can't even operate in their lane of genius because it's rare that I'll look over stuff that they put together in the team, and it is very, I think maybe once I made a comment, and the comment wasn't anything except, hey, do you think we can do? Sure. Other than that, I'm just like, I love everything about this. You guys are here in a minute about the big event that we're having. And Kiara doesn't know this. I was just talking about her today. And I said, I've launched, I think last year, I was doing 2 launches a month for 6 months flat. Uh, and you and even though, I mean, I was able to touch over, I want to say 16,000 people and made several six-figure revenue goals, hit them, I was exhausted. And I needed a new strategy. I needed something more sustainable. I needed to automate. I needed systems. I needed someone to take all of the different aspects. I needed someone to do for me what I do for people. So my executive clients come and say, I'm all over the place. I have all of these things. They're great. I can see them. And I say, shh, whiteboard time. And we go to work in that capacity. I needed somebody to be a me for me. And this team came in, and Kiara was like, I don't know how we're going to do this, but she heard my heart. We had hard conversations. I had to say things like, and let me just say this to you guys as service providers. I don't know why I'm saying it, but I'm here. Y'all going to get it. If you ever go into business with any other intentionality except that you're going to come to serve, we got this thing twisted. I know we love saying boss. I got it on my wall, boss. Like, boss really means people gonna boss you around. If you are it's about servitude. Like, I remember having a conversation. All my children are adults, but I remember having a conversation with my son, and he was saying, "Oh, I can't wait to be a boss so nobody tells me what to do." I bust out laughing to tears, and he was like, "What's so funny?" I was like, "Oh my God, a CEO, everybody tell you what to do. The government tell you what to do. The tax people, everybody, the people who are requesting your services tell you what to do." And so this notion that boss means I get to tell people what to do. No, boss means I get for people to tell me the problem, and I have to come to serve, to fix them, to offer solutions. And so I needed a me for me. And this team came in and had a heart of servitude, was willing to listen. And I brought up that point to say, I remember in Kiara was putting messaging together for me. And I looked at it and I said, it's too sweet. I'm not that sweet. And she was like, oh, no, I mean, but this is the way. And I said, that's not my quote. Let me give you my quote again. I want to say it like I say it, because this is, and she was like, yeah, but, and I said, so you're thinking about this like you. I don't mind. My whole legacy is real, raw, and relevant. Y'all know me. I'm gonna come with. I told you, Jesus and Tupac, right? And I remember when she first started kind of putting some of my quotes for real out there, and she said when she did my review, these are getting some of the highest numbers, and I was like, yeah, because it was the most. I think what I'm saying is she could have turned around and said, "I'm the boss. You hyped me for this. And this is what I'm getting." This is the part where we sometimes mess up in business, is we don't come with the heart of servitude. We don't come to listen at what people need and what woman is it. Are you doing it for you, or are you doing it for them? Are you doing it because that another one hit the dust? Are you just putting it to market off? True, there's another check for me. Or are you doing it because you want to create lasting impact? And so I think we're talking about building these online presence, I think what we have to understand is that we're coming from a place of servitude. We're coming from a place to say, how can I make you better? Not how can I get something else under my belt? And so I just think that that's something that's invaluable, but something that people like me are looking to see. I don't mean to rhyme. And I'm gonna start rapping in a minute, but go ahead.
Yeah, to alliterate, rhyme, all the things. I love it. And I love the fact that you started to touch on, so many good points. One, the boss who realizes that, yeah, I'm very capable of doing everything, but I don't have to. And finally coming to that, realization that I don't have to. I think that's the shift from bright to brilliant. That you finally recognize that I am good, but there's someone that's better. And I want to have the best of the best on my team. I don't want to be the most smartest person. That's exhausting. When you
Yes.
know more than everybody else on your team, now you have to coach them and try to do their job. That's too much. And so I think this is a great segue to talk about the Building Boardroom Brilliance Conference, the Meet Me in the Boardroom Conference, because there's so many leaders who recognize that, or maybe they're finally recognizing that, yeah, I can, but I'm exhausted, and I just need somebody that'll shift me and help me and give me a strategy on how to move in that direction. So can you talk about the Boardroom Conference?
Absolutely. So first of all, I can show you better than I can tell you. If you guys are on Facebook and YouTube, you'll be able to see this. The rest of y'all just take my word for it if you're on Instagram. Meet Me in the Boardroom Conference. It is July 30th and 31st at the Amazing Valentine Luxury Hotel in Charlotte. And this conference specifically is for those of you all who are saying, listen, and please don't be offended when I say this. A lot of the times we are wanting to profit off of a wing and a prayer.
Come on.
And a lot of us can pray, but we can't turn a profit. And we can worship, but we don't charge our worth. And we can minister, but we can't make no money. And I think at some point somebody has to say we've got to make a shift. One of the things that we finally learned is that being bright is not enough. I am a person who I'm a writer. I love writing, and I love scribing. Kiara is a scribe. One of the most important things to us, believe it or not, is light. We have to be able to see. As a prophet, I have to be able to see. To profit, I have to be able to see. I'm a strategist. I have to be able to see. I don't mean to go there, but last year, my favorite scripture in the world was Isaiah 59:10 in the CEV, and it says, we feel our way along as if we were blind. We stumble at noon as if it were night. We can see no better than someone dead. A lot of the reasons your business is dead because you can't see. Your ministry is dead because you can't see. Your bank account is dead because you can't see. And so what happens is, how can the blind lead the blind? And so a lot of the reasons why we're running off of cliffs and our businesses are going bankrupt, we're in a turmoil and a traffic jam, is because we can't see. And we're so offended by the people who are winning that we don't understand that somebody has to win to give the rest of us the strategy. And so I recognize that when I really shifted and started talking about the things that was important to me, and people didn't even realize, and important to God as well, people started falling off. The people that were just, I'm waiting for the wind so I can sow, forget all of the rest of that stuff. And I wanted to say, I want you to have the wind and the winds, you know, the WIND and the WIN. And so I created the Boardroom Conference as a way to get people together who are really saying, I'm tired of trying to make struggling look spiritual. I'm tired of, I can prophesy, but I cannot profit. I'm tired of, I can sing, but I can't, y'all already know how this goes, but I can't scale. And so I think for me, the Boardroom Conference is about building leaders who are saying, I'm bright. I have a bright idea. I have a bright future. I have bright potential. But as scribes, it's when I walk into a dim room, immediately my head starts hurting. I'm one of those people, give me a night light that every time I buy light bulbs, they have to be 100. You know, I know people that like soft light and white light and let's do a 45. That's making my head hurt. I have to be able to see. Mm-hmm. And so when you come to the Boardroom Conference, this conference is for people who saw themselves down the path and can help see you to the next level. These are people who have the recipe, the receipts, and the recognition, and can sit you down at the board and say, listen, I'm going to talk about the internal interruptions and the internal interference that's interrupting your ingenuity. Are we talking at the level we're trying to be? I remember a pastor here said something profound. He said, we're not giving where we're living, we're sowing where we're going. Mm-hmm. And the reason why the Boardroom Conference is a premium priced event is because it's a premium event. It's a premium placed event. The venue is premium. The panelists are premium. The information is premium. And sometimes the reason other people don't take us seriously is because we don't. I can expect you to put down a down payment on something that I won't even pay attention to. And so a lot of the times we settle for pennies And then we, and again, no offense, all of us have started with the $29.99 to $47 to 97 things. Every now and again, we'll do it because we want this event that's coming up next week. We'll talk about it later. It's free, because we want to expose people to light. You know why we do that? It's not a gimmick. It's because once you've seen the light, you don't dwell in darkness anymore. You say to yourself, now that I've gotten a taste of the boardroom, I walked up in the bank. Oh no, you couldn't take me back to struggling and trying to do it on my own. And they didn't ask me to say this, but MTM Creative and Imaging Services, let me tell you something. When we first were thinking, when I first came to my team and I said, in this business, we need somebody that's going to take it to the next level. And I went live. Their prices are not cheap. Let me tell you what I was willing to do. I said, I'll pay for it out of my own pocket. Don't even worry about it. Let me figure out that, because it's an investment and the return is going to be more than just financial. It's going to be a return. There has been systems put in place coming up with the Boardroom Brilliance. You guys see me talking about the Boardroom Brilliance. We got a switch up event. We got this Q&E go, and I'm not worn down. I don't look like I'm ready to jump off of a ledge, because we have a strategy, because I'm working with strategists that are able to tap into that level. And so the boardroom conference is, look, I love the prayer room. Here, I'm just going to say it. I can love the prayer room and the boardroom. Now, I know this is going to mess with some of y'all theology, but I can be just as effective in the boardroom as I am in the prayer room. A lot of the reasons why you're not able to shift into the next level is because you stay in the prayer closet. At some point, get out the closet and come to the table. And he prepared a table for me. And so a lot of the times when he said, I prepared a table, here is where we get it twisted. He didn't say the table was just to eat. He said, I prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemy. What if the table is there so you can negotiate and write checks and contracts? He just prepared the table. And so y'all so used to going in the closet that you forgot about the table. I said to women a couple of months ago, you've got so used to standing at the stove, you don't know how to take a seat at the table. But the table is for me to write checks. The table is for me to make decisions, executive decisions. The table is for me to look and draft some contracts. And so I'm inviting y'all to the table. The table's in the boardroom. And so we want to build our boardroom brilliance. We want to know how to be brilliant in execution, in our ministry, in our mindset, in the different things that we're trying to monetize. This is the next level. Everything is supposed to continually shift and elevate. And if you're in a place of stagnation or even of regression, then I will just like to tell you, it could be the atmosphere. It could be the environment. It could be because you have not taken the time to sit at the table, not just any table, the right table. So, and there it is.
And Dr. E, you said it. The price is premium, but I want us to recognize that our purpose is premium.
Oh, that's good.
Our purpose is worth the investment. And I want us to really get a heart connection with this, because a lot of times we're on social media consuming this. I'm on this live and I'm getting this freebie and I'm getting X, Y, and Z. But really, you need to get into your heart that you are worth the investment. What God has placed on the inside of you is worth the investment. I got to this place. Dr. E sold, well, she didn't sow until she invested into her business with our services. But a couple months before then, we had to sow 10K into our own business to another level. And so I'm telling you that it's a ripple effect. Once you start investing in yourself, you are going to see a return that is phenomenal. There are platforms that I'm able to reach because of my investment of what I was able to do. And there are places that you won't get into until you make the investment into yourself. And so if you're vacillating like, oh, should I be there or not? The answer is yes, you absolutely should be there. And I'm not just trying to sell you. Yeah, I'm a salesperson. I'm a marketing person, but I'm talking about your purpose right now. You be there. You cannot delay. This isn't the time to delay. This isn't the season to delay. This is a prophetic time to make specific decisions, okay, that are critical for your purpose. This is one of those things, and you need to hop up on it. Okay.
And I love that Leslie just said, get the strategy in the prayer room, but then build it in the boardroom. See, that's I can tell I'm her online mentor, because she's sounding like me now. So that is so true. It's so relevant. And I'll say this, I'm glad she said that. One of the things I posted, I may have to repost this again, but I'll be talking about this. And I talk about it all the time. I stopped praying and I stopped asking for money, and I start praying for the plans. That's a lot of the problem. We go to God and we're asking for money. God, I need help paying this bill. God, if you could just help me to get this. And he's saying, I never said many are the dollar bills I have for you. Many are the plans I have. Here's the thing. and we read about it in Jeremiah, but he says, I know the plans that I have. The plans. I already know the plans, and the plans are to prosper you. We try to get so spiritual, but we miss the prophetic preparation and the prophetic protocol that goes along with it. I have plans. These plans are only to prosper you. And so we like to mean prosperity as long as he prosper me in health, but wealth too. Let's not get one and let's dilute the other. And so I think a lot of the times, because we feel like we can't conceptualize the aspect of leveling up and doing for ourselves, because it starts at home, and investing in ourselves. Again, we've been taught the notion that struggling is spiritual. We're closer to God when we're poor. Yeah, I don't know what God y'all are serving, but everywhere it says that my God is rich, he has a cattle on, he is wealthy. And so I'm closer to him the wealthier I get. Now that's gonna hurt somebody, but it's okay, you'll heal in the morning. And so I had to make a prophetic shift. I had to make the shift. We're gonna deal with that in just a second, but I had to make the shift mentally, emotionally, spiritually first. And so I stopped praying about money, and I just started asking for plans. Every time lack came into my life, I asked for a plan. Every time I started seeing that something was scarce, I started asking for a plan. And I began saying, what's the plan? And can I tell y'all this? I feel a flow. He didn't lead me anywhere besides the boardroom. I asked him, lack showed up. I asked for a plan. He led me to the boardroom. I thought he was going to lead me to a prophet. I thought he was going to lead me to my knees. No, I stopped asking and stopped praying about money. And he said, finally, you're giving me something I can work with. Finally, you're allowing me to give you something to execute. I said, what's the plan? And see, this is the thing about God, because I think that we have change the totality of who he is into something that we believe that we can handle and digest. But if you look in the scriptures, every time there was something amazing about to happen, the Lord brought them to the boardroom. He said, Noah, go to the boardroom. I need you to get pencil and paper. I'm going to give you a design for something that's about to save your life. He said, Solomon, you want to honor me? Get your paper and pen. Come to the boardroom. I'm going to give you a strategy, dimensions, and protocol. Listen, I'm going to give y'all a strategy. We are looking for money, and we're not asking for plans. The plans are in the boardroom. He said, from the ending, knowing the ending of the thing, y'all thought Stephen Covey began with the end in mind. No, that was Jesus. I'm pronouncing the ending from, do you know what that is? That's called strategy. Mm-hmm. Seeing it at the end and then working the plan. Why do you think he could document, this is how many days it took to make the earth? This is the day that I rested, because he had a plan. Planning is not just practical, it's prophetic. Y'all better catch it. Planning is prophetic. You know why? I actually wrote that down, and I was going to give it to Kiara to post. Planning is prophetic. Planning is prophetic because planning makes you say, how is it going to turn out? And so now I'm just going to do the strategy to ensure it happens. A prophecy is saying, how is this thing going to end? And now I'm just going to walk in the fulfillment till I see the manifestation. Planning is prophetic. But the thing about it is, we just want God to open up the windows of heaven and pour us out a blessing, but we won't open the door of discipline. No, he's not open the door. And so listen, go back to the drawing board, because you're gonna miss it waiting for windows. And we think we just gonna sew our way into success, and we think we just gonna pay for prophecies. But planning is prophetic, seeing the end. And that's the thing I just told you at the beginning. Why we go from bright to brilliant? Because we need to be able to see. If you can't see yourself prosperous, if you can't see yourself wealthy, if you can't see yourself, and that's a lot of the thing that I've been hearing. Well, the boardroom event is for them. It's not for me. Who told you that you don't have a seat at the table? This is the boardroom. If you are anywhere in the kingdom, then planning should be part of your protocol. I'm flowing now. Planning should be a part of your protocol. I don't do anything without a plan. I don't even know where y'all get this stuff from. Even Jesus said, y'all think I'm here on my own account? I'm only here because my daddy got a plan, and I'm here to walk through his plan. Planning is prophetic. I'm only here because he's already prophesied what I'm supposed to do. I'm just here to walk through the manifestation. I'm not of my own accord. My daddy sent me. He already got a plan. And so a lot of the times I don't understand how we can think prophetic principles work over there and not over here. But that's why we flanking, because we don't have a plan. And so I stopped praying for money, and I started asking for the plans. I just went there. So y'all forgive me. I told y'all I didn't know what y'all gonna laugh, gonna cry, you're gonna get a shift. So meet me at the boardroom. I said all that to say, so meet me at the boardroom.
You know, and once we get the strategy, we have to be disciplined to execute it.
Absolutely.
You know? We have to. And I think that's something that we're lacking in, acting like we don't have the fruit of the spirit. And listen, you need to walk. People need to see the evidence of God in your life. I've been talking to my mentees about that. And that's something that we specifically been praying about. How are people going to know and recognize the glory of God in your life if you have no fruit, no recollection of it? You don't operate in anything. You're just lazy, sitting in the background, sitting at home because you're like, well, I don't know if I should be in the boardroom. I don't know if I should do X, Y, and Z. Well, nobody's going to see you sitting at home by yourself. It's in relationships, it's in connections, it's in the action, it's in the doing, it's in the investment. You have to plow, you have to work. I don't know what what we think in this day and age,
fake fruit.
That we can just pray our way through it and sow our way through it without working. And I hate that about our generation. But I recognize that, hey, you do have to work hard. You do. And it's going to be levels where you get to rest. You get to enjoy the fruit of your labor. You will. And then God will bring you to another season where, hey, I got another vision inside of you and I need you to plow at this one. So yeah, you might be good. Everything's systematized right here. But what about that vision that you know God is calling you to? Hey, it's time to put your hand to the plow again.
But Kiara, that's good. Somebody asked a question, and I think this is kind of the segue. They were like, well, how do you make ministry and the marketplace sync? I don't have to. Here's the thing that I think we miss. They've always come together. For some reason, again, because we don't see, here it is. I said that planning is prophetic and strategy is spiritual. It's scriptural. You can find strategy throughout the entire Bible. Strategy is scriptural. And so a lot of the times we think that this marketplace ministry is so new. But you hear God talking about businessmen and Jesus all throughout the Bible. Did we forget that Job was a businessman? Did we forget that everybody, the Proverbs woman, that woman had her own bank, right? That woman was not around looking cute. She was out there saying, so I have a business. I'm at the marketplace. I can buy my own luxury fabrics. And a lot of the times we overlook the fact that these people were scholars. Paul, a scholar. That means I gotta have money if I'm sitting at the feet of Gourmet. I'm paying money, premium prices. So somewhere I've been producing some fruit. And I think a lot of the times we think that they don't go together. Here's the thing. Some people are asking me, well, how do you really make them sync? Jesus said it best, render unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. When somebody comes to me for business strategy, I give them business strategy. I don't try to prophesy into their lives. I give them a business strategy. When I came to Kiara and Jared, even though I knew they were full of faith and fortified in their foundation, I didn't come for them for a word. I came to do the work. When we have our business meeting, we do laugh and stuff, but we get to business. It's about business. At that point, it is, here is what's working. Here is where we can improve. And so render unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. I'm very intentional when I come on and say prophetic pop-up, I'm coming to prophesy. But I'm very intentional when I say this is a teaching, I'm coming to teach, I'm coming to teach. And so again, because we vacillate, we don't stand firm in one or the other, it's hard to be one and the other. Let me say that again. Because we don't stand firm in one or the other, it's hard for people to see one and the other. I had to stand firm as a prophet. Stop playing it around. Stop acting as though, sometimes I'm prophetic and I can flow. I had to stand very firm. Hey, but I prophesy. I'm a prophet. I'm a very clear, accurate prophet. When my spiritual father, Apostle Eckhart, put me on this platform, he said, they need this, go for it. Don't pull back. So I had to stand firm in that. When I decided to stand firm in business, I couldn't be sitting around saying, well, should I post that we made $120,000 in 40 days? Yes, because why would you invest in my program if I don't know how to profit? And so I began to stand firm in those things individually so that when I did vacillate or go back and forth in them, people could see me flowing flawlessly because I now have the receipts, the recognition, and the recipe to be able to do it. And so I think, that was important to me. And the last thing I'll say, I saw somebody ask me, because it all goes together. I saw somebody ask me about, who was my motivator or who was my mentor or who different things. It's funny because I remember loving to watch Dr. Cindy Trim, because she was one of the first people who married business and ministry. And when she began talking about money, and she was doing it in such a confident, unapologetic way, I said, who is this chick? And then, so not only was she teaching in business, she had the audacity to turn around and do this wealth prayer. And I'll never forget, I put it on my phone. She was like, go to my app, download it, and pray this every day. Now, but when you finish praying, go over here to my website and register for a course so I can teach you. I said, this here carrying on, that's what I love. When I saw Marshawn Edwards Daniels say, I'm going to teach y'all business. This is what I learned. This is what and then she killed it. And then she turned around and said, boop, and I love Jesus. This is God confidence. I said, this kind of carrying on, that's my language. I don't need permission to be a prophet and to turn a prophet. All right, I'm done.
That's good. But you know what, Dr. E, I think it also comes to the fact of knowing your identity and being resolved in that. And I think if you're vacillating in your identity, I think you need to resolve that first before you try to go out here bleeding on people, doing and not delivering what you're supposed to, because you're still like, well, I can do this and I can do that. That's not what they asked you for. Do you know who you are? And I think even throughout my journey, I didn't have the language to recognize that I'm a strategist. I just knew that I like to plan and it's just fun for me. But I had to really cultivate the identity that I am a strategist, walk in it boldly. And when I said that to myself and I walked in it, then I was able to execute it. And then when it was time to prophesy, it was time to prophesy. When it was time to encourage, it was time to encourage. When it was time to laugh, it was time to laugh. But I think it really comes down to, are you solid in who God says that you are?
That's it. So, y'all, let me segue. A lot of the times we have to make the shift in our mindset. We have to make the shift in the marketplace, how we connect in business. We have to make the shift in ministry. We can't do, we talk about it all of the time. We know insanity is trying to do the same thing, get a different result. And so again, for those of you all on Facebook and Instagram, and YouTube, y'all can see it. Making the Switch. If you have not saw this already, Making the Switch is a free virtual event. You have no excuses not to be there. It is completely virtual and completely free. I am pulling in some experts who's coming to kill the game, and they are going to take us from bright to brilliant. Go to goregisternow.com. I'm not even giving you an explanation. I'm just telling you, if you finally ready to turn that light on and to go to that dimmer and go to that from dim to dynamic, you need to be at the boardroom conference. It's going to be June 25th and 26th. I wouldn't miss not once. Even if you think the segment is not going to be for you, get there. Get in there and take advantage of the people that are coming to share wisdom and knowledge and information.
Yeah, I love that. And that's what it's all about. I sense that most of the people that are here, Dr. E has been doing a transition series for the last 4 weeks that has been phenomenal. And now we have to recognize that we're not just in transition. Now it's time to pivot. Now it's time to make a decision. Now it's time to create some action. And these people have gone before us and already had to make those decisions when it was tough. Absolutely. Had to transition when it was tough. And, they were able to prosper in the midst of the pandemic through ministry, mindset, in the marketplace. So I think it's a perfect place. I call it the prerequisite for the boardroom conference, because I feel like it's you're going to get so much from there, but really the strategy and the implementable strategies that you need, that's at the boardroom conference. This is going to be the encouragement, the enlightenment for you to recognize, okay, wow, somebody else did it. I'm encouraged that I can do it too. But then when you're looking for your next steps on how to do that, you have to come to the boardroom conference.
Have to come to the boardroom.
So I just love how God is just putting this all together. I need those web addresses again. Okay, if you want to go to Making the Shift, which is the free event on the 25th and the 26th, that's goregisternow.com. Yep. And if you are ready, and I know a lot of you guys are ready for the boardroom conference, I would say get your tickets now before they sell out. Period.
Come on, get there.
VIP is the hottest tickets that's selling right now, because you get to be in person with all of us, and I'm actually going to be your host. But we're going to be having a leaders luncheon on Friday that's only for VIP. And on Saturday, we're going to have a boardroom brunch with Marcus Benjamin, who's a phenomenal speaker and executive. And so if you want to go there, you go to theboardroomconference.com. Thank you for asking.
All righty. Y'all see it.
Yes. And if you follow Dr. E on Instagram and on Facebook, you'll see all the content, and it's going to lead you to where you need to go. Now make sure you swipe and you read. Swipe and
Swipe,
read, okay?
swipe, read and swipe. We putting all of it out there, y'all.
You registered. Thank you, Leslie. So glad. I
Awesome.
love it. So does anyone else have any questions for Dr. E? I mean, she done already blessed our whole life.
Y'all pushed me into the next level. So, I
Listen.
think I gave it all to. I see y'all with the quotes. Listen, I gave it to you. If you did not, if you know somebody after you watch this and you're like, man, they need to see this, send them over to YouTube. You can go and watch it. It'll be in my IG on my IG channel. You can go on Facebook to my business page. Watch the replay and send it to somebody. Like, look, this conversation they had, it was awesome. You need to hear this because I think it's going to bless somebody. So make sure you share the wealth of information.
Yes, absolutely. Someone said, I'm trying to shift to the mindset of a billionaire for the billion soul harvest. Listen, the harvest is plentiful.
The
The
harvest
laborers are few. So will you be a laborer? I feel so churchy, but will you?
Oh, I see somebody. How do we adjust ourselves to be ready for these awesome conferences? That is an excellent question. I have an answer for that. When am I coming to Chicago? Lord God, pray. I'm coming. I got to get there. So I'll say this. Here's the way to be ready for these conferences that we are putting out there. One of the things that I realized is that I became more prevalent in what I was doing, more refined when I stopped trying to be a container and I started being a conduit. Right when I started clearing the clutter, it's not about. I think a lot of the reasons why we can't really grasp what is being told to us is because our minds hold on to the small thinking we're singing the song of scarcity and the lullaby of lack, and we're just holding on to the posture of poverty, and we're just y'all know I'm alliteration, and so we're just holding on to stuff, and I think when we begin to allow ourselves to let go of what we've unlearned, what we've learned, be open to new ideas, new revelation, new insight, be open. Some of y'all only know the people y'all already know. You'll catch it later. You need to find people you don't know and get new perspective and new insight. That's why, like I said, next week, the conference is free. We're going to be introducing you guys to a panel, a diverse panel, not just ethnicity diversity, but in profession. And you're going to hear so many different aspects. And I believe if you will open yourself to just be a conduit, let the stuff that might have been causing you some congestion, let it flow through so that you're able to receive some new things. And so thank you for that. Thank you, Granny. I see you watching as well. Yeah, that's a great question. Clear the clutter. Yeah, that's how you prepare. Clear the clutter. Anything, you know how it is. We call it cognitive dissonance. When something rubs against what you believe, you start getting tight. I remember I did a segment when I first started going live, and I said, listen, I know I'm about to say something to untighten shoulders. Roll them around it, breathe, because this is going to be a little different. And so ready yourself, allow yourself, because we get tight. I can't believe she's saying that. Are you trying to say my pastor taught it wrong? Listen, calm down. Just open yourself to hear something different. We ain't saying Momo them meant wrong. We just open yourself up to receive something different, to receive something. Can't nobody tell me nothing but my pastor. See, right, and right there. Can't nobody tell me that but my mama. See, and right there. Open yourself up to hear and receive something new, and I guarantee you, you'll get a deposit.
Absolutely, because that's just what she does. So you guys, it's just going to be phenomenal. And I mean, we already said it. I already know that you guys are already registering, so I'm excited for that. I love it. Do you guys have anything else? Because if not,
this was awesome.
So I'm gonna let her go sleep now.
Don't play about me. See, that's the part y'all don't know. This my daughter. She don't play. Like, okay, then cut the camera off. But let me say, this has been so awesome. Okay. How do I create an ebook for online viewers? So it's so many different ways. I'm a graphic designer. Graphic designer. So I don't do Canva and all that stuff. Like, I go InDesign, blank sheet. Let's start from the nothing. But Canva is an amazing tool. There are so many different templates that you can take to use. There are so many different creative communities that provide. And this here, let me just say this. This is a good way for me to say this. If you're trying to create an ebook, understand that it is your knowledge, not your time creating the book, that is more important. So I would say find a solution, find a template that's already created, put the information, because that is what the people are looking for. I remember spending so much time designing it and going through all them hours, and the people just wanted what was on the inside. And because that's what people want, what's on the inside. Look, that was a word. We spend so much time out here trying to be aesthetically appeasing, but people want what's on the inside. That's why you can have a great social media feed and no traction, because people want what's on the inside. Y'all got me. Here it is. Because people want what's on the inside. And so sometimes we're so busy trying to look good and look like what people expect, that it's the inside that gets neglected, but people want what's on the inside. So, so yeah, I wear a lot of hats. I keep a hat. You hear me?
Yes, we trying to retire some of those hats. Praise God. But she is definitely a multi-talented woman. Most people don't even know that you're a graphic designer. You're a worship leader. Like,
listen, songwriter, lyricist. I used to do vocal teaching. Y'all said y'all want to know stuff. Vocal teaching, a writer, a scribe. I can dance.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yep, probably not. This may be me thinking more highly of myself than I are. But I did recently post a video of me moonwalking in my head, Michael Jackson Jr. Probably, yeah. But yeah, I can dance. I didn't say well. I can now kayak. So yeah, I have a lot of hidden talents out there. So yeah, so excited.
Oh my God. I feel like that's why you're my mom, because literally we've done all the things. And I say this all the time. My praise team knows that. Like, if I had to choose between being a praise dancer and a singer, although I've sung the whole time, I'm like, I'm going to be a praise dancer.
I did. People don't know that, like I used to do. And I'm like, I don't know. And I think it's something, I'm a bookworm. I don't know I'm a book. Y'all listen, the nerdiest nerd. My favorite thing that I get excited about, useless trivia, because Kiara said y'all want to know stuff you don't know. I am a bookworm. You want to make me excited? Send me a gift card to Books A Million, baby. I'd be like, a Barnes and Nobles. I'm like, we got stuff at Barnes and Nobles. So that's useless trivia, but yeah, I'm a bookworm. So man, this has been so amazing. Hey, Dr. Rucker, she's gonna be one of the speakers at the panel for making the switch. So it's just everything, y'all. Just get there. Just don't miss the opportunity. I'll say this. Let me see how I want to say it, because I'm trying to act right tonight, right? You know, I'm trying to act.
Why not? Live your best life.
but here's the thing. I think we do a lot of complaining about everything. I mean, we complain about nobody don't ever do stuff for us, and they don't ever and they have all these connections, and we don't. And then we put stuff out there. And the first thing I hear is the excuse. Well, I don't have time to do that. It's free. Well, I don't like the platform. I don't know if I'm gonna be available. Make yourself available. If you want it, you either want it or you don't. See, that's that Tupac coming out. You either gonna do it or you not. You either getting it or you won't. And I think the time. See. A lot of people don't like this because y'all don't think that the Bible got thug trivia in it. But I take this as a Tupac scripture. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. I don't beg for no bread. I don't beg when I position myself to produce. When I put things in front of folk, when I make things available and people don't take advantage of it, I can't hear your excuses later. When you are a part of something that I'm doing and I say, hey, if you're a part of my team, you get strategy for me. Listen, the Old Testament is savage, baby. Thug trivia. I'm trying to tell y'all, that's the Thug Testament. I love the CEV version of the Bible because it's straight But we put things out there, you know, but I'm not gonna beg nobody to eat. Listen, you see, y'all don't know what kind of mama I am. Since y'all want to know about Dr. E, I'll cook it. I ain't fixing no plates. I'm gonna cook it, and it's in the kitchen. So when y'all ready to eat, because I used to when they were younger, I fixed everybody food, but then everybody start complaining. I ain't want that on my plate. I ain't want that. Baby, you got one time to tell me. All right, you know what? I start yelling, food, and they come down there. I already ate. Oh no! It's with my plate. in the cabinet, I guess. That's how we've got to, because that's that breaking that people pleasing paralysis.
Mhm.
I just want everybody to be good. I want everybody to get the stuff, and and so we gonna hold their hand. We gonna lead them to the solution. We gonna take them to the place. We gonna fix it. We gonna chew it up and put it, and then make them, and then no. And so I think part of having these great things is if you're going to complain, make sure you complain about your own level of disservice to yourself. That's how we take responsibility. If you're going to complain about something, say, I passed on that opportunity. I didn't take advantage of this. I didn't allow myself. I let the crazy voice in my head tell me that I wasn't sufficient and I couldn't be a part. I have to take responsibility to silence the voice in my head, because people. And so then when things are out of your price point, hey, I don't have an attitude. I'm thankful that the bar is raised because it gives me something to reach towards. So I just want to throw that out there for the people in the back.
No, it's real, because I think one of the things I love about my pastor is that he showed me what it means to really invest in yourself and travel near or far. His pastor, his bishop, is in Texas. We're in Florida. And he will travel. I mean, on the weekend, take a flight, and people, well, I ain't got that money. You don't know how to sacrifice things. That's the real issue. You're not willing to sacrifice because you don't hold the weight and the honor on the people that are called and assigned to your life.
Ooh,
for me, good. I will give my last into because I know that they have the words for my life. And when you meet the people who have the language for your level, like you said the other day, when you recognize that, you can't buy that. And because you can't buy that, I got to sow into that. There's a price on that. To meet the people that are aligned with your assignment, there is a price that you have to pay. And so many people don't recognize they don't have that honor principle. They don't operate in honor. Because of that, they make excuses. Well, I ain't going to do that. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. That opportunity, like you said, that door may not be open to you again. But I'm going to maximize everything that's given in front of me. And so, God, let's make a way, because I know that I'm called to this person. I know that I'm supposed to be there. So, God, I trust that you will give me the finances to be there. We got to activate our faith. Okay, we have to walk by faith. And that's the issue. We want to make excuses because we don't want to walk by faith. And the just shall live by faith.
That's so good. We want to whine, but we don't want to walk.
Come on.
Let me say this, and I say this to my business coaching clients, and I've said this on live, but I'll say this tonight. Maybe it's a good way to end it. And you've got to say this to yourself. I had to take this mantra upon myself, but you should say it for yourself. You can't pay me what I'm worth, but you can invest into what I'm willing to release. So I'm just going to say this again. You can't. A lot of the times we get the big head. I ain't paying that for her. Baby, listen, you got to twist it real quick. What I'm charging you is not what I'm worth. That whole charge your worth, that's impossible. I can't. You can't. You don't have the capacity, because the Bible says that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, and that my value is above rubies. So be very clear. You can't, and you need to say this for yourself. You can't pay me what I'm worth, but you can invest into what I'm willing to release. And so when people release their genius and their anointing and their strategy and different business products, they're saying, I'm giving you an opportunity to invest here, because you can't pay for what I'm worth. And so when you begin to see the true value of who you are, who God has positioned you to be, when you see the true value of your ministry, of your product, of your services, you'll begin to say, well, of course I'm investing at this level, because I know what I have. I know what I house. I know who I'm called to be. I'm positioned to prosper. I'm positioned to profit. And so, I just want to say, get past that part. Get past that and understand that this is just an investment, and all investments have an ROI. You get the return on it, not me. So okay.
And that's it. And that's on
that.
So as a wrap up, you guys, in the month of June, next week, we are having the Making the Switch event. So it is a free virtual event. You want to register. We got over 200, probably close to 300 plus now, people who are attending. So that is exciting. We're excited about that. And then in July, thank you, Dr. She's just so excellent. And then in July, we have the Boardroom Conference. That is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay. There are virtual tickets available, guys. I'm just saying that the VIP is where it's at, and
That's where it's at.
That's where it's at. But there, if you cannot make it, or you aren't at that level yet, but you can invest at that level, I would say do what you can do so that you can be there and be in the place to get your next level. So that is next month, and that is July 30th through the 31st. The tickets start at $397. VIP is what, $14.97 for right now. It might go up again. So I'm just saying you might want to get in while you can. That's all I'm gonna say.
Y'all, listen, we're gonna pray that your birthday present comes through, Leslie, so you can be there. I'm telling you, I'm excited about all of this. I'm excited about the free event, I'm just as excited about the other one. I just realized that at the in-person event, we are going to be putting it out there. We get to touch you, we get to strategize with you, we get to give you some stuff that we can't give at the Making the Switch event. So I'm just somebody, I got my bounce ready. Listen, get it ready because we will be holding no punches. So I'm excited. Thank y'all for being such an amazing crowd tonight. This has been so much fun. Kiara, you're just amazing host. Y'all, listen, she's going to be her and my brother, the amazing Jared Mason, are going to be the hosts, the co-hosts at this event. And when I tell you they are funny and they are fabulous and they operate in excellence and entertainment at the same time, it's going to be, it's just, oh my goodness. And don't you want the opportunity to fly yourself out somewhere, put on your clothes, put your, blazers in the heat and roll up in a venue like the Valentine Luxury Hotel, sit at your VIP table with your book. You know how it is when you go somewhere and you got a reservation and you kind of got a gangster lean to it, like, serve me, y'all. That's the kind of vibe we trying to go. We want you to come out like you ready to say, I'm increasing prices everywhere. Like, that's the level. But again, the event next week, the switch up event, is going to be amazing. What I do believe is that it's, as Kiara said earlier, it's going to motivate you. And some of you guys that might still be vacillating, come to this free event, hear the language of leaders. It will change your life. And so that's all we got to say. I'm excited to be there. And yeah.
So I got one more thing too.
Okay.
For my business owners, you have the opportunity to have an ad at the boardroom conference, okay? There are executives that are going to be there, other entrepreneurs, 6, 7, 8-figure actually entrepreneurs that are going to be there, and you have the opportunity to get your business name out there. Or if you said that, hey, I can't make it, but you know what, I just want to give, I want to sow into this, you have the capacity to do that. Starting at $50, you can have your name listed as one of the sponsors for the boardroom conference. So I love that Dr. E created that opportunity. She's all about giving people platforms and opportunities. And so you have the opportunity to have your name listed into this virtual book and in-person book that people are going to be taking notes in, they're going to be looking at even for years to come, because it's going to be such valuable information. So I would hop on that. Go to theboardroomconference.com. If you scroll down, you'll see the sponsor levels, and then it goes from $50 to, I believe, $17.50. So I would definitely take advantage of that. If you say that, hey, I can't do either one, but I would love to just help see this conference prosper, I would go that route.
Go that route. Yeah. I would love to give shout outs to all of you guys that find ways to bless me. So thank y'all so much for this. Thank you, Kiara. This was amazing. I think we're going to be doing this weekly for the next couple of weeks. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to have different guests. We're going to open it up for questions every single time. So make sure that you are connected on all my social media platforms. You never know when and where I am popping up, but however it happens, it's going to be lit. So yeah.
Yes. I love it. So we will see you guys later. Make sure you're following Dr. E on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Clubhouse. She everywhere, y'all.
Everywhere. Facebook. Y'all, come with it. Yeah, I don't want y'all to miss nothing.
Yeah. All right.
Well, all right, guys. Thank you so much. I hope that this was valuable for you guys. I hope you found insight. Thank you all that popped up to support both of us. This was fun. I gotta get more active on Instagram Live, y'all. So I'm gonna be showing up more just for y'all, and so I don't have to navigate between all these cameras. But anyway, watch the replay. Send it to some of you. You want all of them? Oh, thank you. I love y'all so much. All right, y'all. Until next time, y'all know I always say peace.